welcome to Soul Focus. It's my very special guest, Ian Higgins. How are you today?
Yeah, good. How's yourself, Brooke? Good to see
Oh,
you again.
excellent, awesome.
Awesome.
It was a lovely sunny day in Adelaide. How was it where you were?
Yeah, a little bit windy, but yeah, sunny and beautiful. Love Queensland weather. Not so much like Adelaide, but yeah, Adelaide's beautiful too. But yeah, it was just very windy today.
Yeah,
So,
Adelaide's just chilled,
yeah,
and it's
it
chilled.
is, isn't it?
It
Mm,
doesn't get, it gets a bit hot, but it gets a tiny bit cold, but it's just very middle of the road sort of weather
yes,
most of the time, not
exactly.
too heavy.
Yeah,
Um,
I loved
uh,
Adelaide when I was there. It was so beautiful.
oh yeah, it's just laxed.
Yeah,
It's
beautiful
just laxed.
mountains, scenery, everything. Yeah,
Yeah,
beaches, beautiful
yeah, I'm
place.
near the
Yeah.
beach. I love it.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, that's good.
Everyone, Ian, welcome tonight, everyone that's in the crowd.
Mhm.
Ian is a shaman, a medicine man, and he's been on a spiritual walk for 14 years, and he's come to tell us all about it.
Speak the wisdom. That's it. Definitely. Cool. Thanks for the invite, Brooke. I really appreciate it, brother. Just from my heart to yours to
Yep.
start with, I'd just like to thank you for this journey we're going to take tonight. So yeah, guys, I always like to open the circle up. I like to open it up with the sacred medicines, and open that space, give us that circle where we can all come together as one and share these beautiful teachings and wisdoms tonight. So yeah, just to give you a bit of a rundown about it. So this is my lovely Palo abalone shell. We're talking Palo Santo. My lovely abalone shell and my beautiful eagle and hawk feather. Oh, there we go. Probably can see it there, guys. So now, what I do is I like to connect the four elements with the four plant medicines. So from the abalone, from the fire, that comes from the east. So we always light the sage with the fire. So this is how we begin. So we light the fire and bring the fire element into the space. And then the abalone shell holds the water. So this is what brings the water element into the space as well. And then we're lighting the sage and we're lighting the tobacco and we're lighting the juniper and the sweetgrass together. So we've got the four sacred medicines there, which make up the earth and brings in the earth element. And then we bring the feather to offer the blessings and the prayers. And this is what brings the air element. So all those four elements create a circle, and it's a medicine circle, medicine wheel. So I'd just like to start, and I'd just like to offer to the Great Spirit, to all that is above, to the upper realms, I offer this sacred smoke. I come forth with so much gratitude in my heart, so much honour and love, and offer this sacred smoke to the Mother Earth, to all that is seen, to all that is unseen, to the four-leggeds, to the creepy crawlies, I offer this sacred smoke. And then I come forth again. I come up to the farther sky, and I offer this sacred smoke to the farther sky, to the star nations, to the ancestors, the elders, to the winged ones, to the upper realm, I offer this sacred smoke. And then I turn to the east, and I call upon all the beautiful energies from the east. I turn to the south, and I offer this sacred smoke and thank all the blessings and the energies that come from the south. I turn to the west and offer this sacred smoke to the west and honour all the blessings and the energies that come for us tonight. And then I turn to the north and offer this sacred smoke to the north, to our ancestors, to our elders, to all that is around us. And then I come back to the centre and I offer this sacred smoke to all of you in this beautiful circle. From my heart to all of your hearts, I hold my takiyasu. Okay, guys, so we've opened the space. And it's going to smoke me out.
Feels good.
Bear with me for a sec, I'll just move it. Here we go. Let it get some airflow. Here we go. Rightio. Cool. So yeah, guys. So I guess that begins. What we're I guess what we're going to talk about tonight. It's about opening. When you do something like this, or you speak of any wisdoms or teachings, from ancestral backgrounds or paths or journeys, you have to open that sacred space because you've got to honour them. But not only honour them, you've also got to honour the custodians and the owners of this sacred land. Because what we get from other places in the world, it's all sort of all combined together as one. Everyone has a different belief system and a different pattern
Yep.
in life. But you talk to people, it's just us opening up and having that talk with that somebody else. You're going to learn something from that person, but we're all going to come to realise that we're all talking about the same thing, but just in a different way. So
Yep.
that's the beauty about it all, is that we're all connected. We're all brothers and sisters. We're all related. So yeah, it's such a beautiful thing. Yeah, I love it. I'm glad I do it and I'm able to help others.
Yep.
But I feel like I'm connecting back to my journey on the ancestral path. I feel like I'm bringing back up what it is that I've always been doing for others.
Yep.
You know, from generation to generation to generation, and it just gets passed on, passed on, passed on. But you're born with it. You're born with it. It comes within you
Yeah.
at birth. It's like it comes back to you. It's like you're back. Boom. Here we go.
So
Yeah.
apart from being born with it all inside of us, how did you get on this journey?
So, many years back, like we're going back probably 14 years, I had my spiritual awakening, and it was really good because I connected with a few elders, a few Native American Indians who'd actually, sort of been around certain people and they'd done certain things. And I started sort of just slowly tapping into it. And I used to go to their little groups, and I thought, oh, this stuff just really blew me away. And I was like, But I wasn't ready, see? I wasn't ready back then. I wasn't ready to do it, but I was just learning things from them. But the thing is about 3.5 years ago, I connected with a good friend of mine who I totally trust and respect, who I call my elder, because he's taught me a lot. And he's brought me, I guess, out of my shell and made me realise that, I had the benefits there to help others, and I'm able to offer the healings. And he's taken me through a few good journeys. So made me research a lot more, made me look
Yep.
into it, and then made me sort of connect more with my ancestors, my elders, and my spirit guides who have been able to pass on messages to me now, which is helping me in my life to be able to help others. So because I'm just opening up, I've surrendered, I've let go of all my fears,
Yep.
and here I am. What you see is what I am, and I just have so much love and so much beauty inside of me to offer the greater community, the greater world out there, and that's my intention.
So
Yeah.
cool. So what sort of things were you doing when you first awakened? How long did it take you to get your head around it?
Yeah, so the awakening period, like the phase everything happens every 7 years, they say, right?
Yep.
I don't know if you've sort of heard that. You go through a phase and you go through those 7 year phases. The first 7 years of my spiritual awakening was more about me learning about who I was, learning about meditation, going within myself, learning about the chakra system, learning about the auric field, learning about my psychic abilities, the mediumship abilities that I had. That was the first 7 years of my path. And I really enjoyed it, because it opened up so many new things for me. And I ended up going down the field of being more of a psychic medium, so, and I've been doing that for a while, and it's just, I've been doing it for a lot of friends and family, and I've worked at a couple of cafes, coffee shops, crystal shops, things like that. But yeah, it's just, I've come to this next phase in my life, the next 7 years, because we're talking the 14 all up. It's been a whole different journey for me. So I've been learning more about, I guess, the natural medicines. I've been studying naturopathy, and I did all the natural medicine stuff. Started looking into all the herbs, all the oils. So a completely different journey, but still doing my psychic stuff and my mediumship stuff, but opening up this new channel that I never knew I really had within me. It wasn't until I connected with my brother. That brother, I worked out this is the journey I'm meant to take. So, and I'd done a few different plant medicines as well, a few rapé ceremonies.
Yep.
I haven't had the opportunity yet to experience a sweat lodge, but that is coming up, so in the near future. So I'm looking forward to that. But I've been able to do a lot of good things. I've made my own tools, my own shamanic tools.
Yep.
So I've read books, I've learned. But when I do something, I do it in a sacred way. I always open that space up, like what we just did before. I always offer this, the smoke, and I call in the blessings, and you always thank the
Yep.
spirits of what you're using, because you have to. That's what makes it a sacred object.
Yeah.
If you just
Okay.
anyone can make a rattle or a staff
Yep.
or a drum. Oh, I've made a drum, but it's you putting your intention and you believing in what you're doing when you're doing that object, when you're making that object, and
Yep.
you're giving the blessing to all the spirits that are being part of that object for you. So, and that's what makes it sacred.
So sweat lodges. Can you tell us about what are they? What are they for?
So
What's the
sweat
main?
lodges is something you'll sit in. You'll sit in a sweat lodge
Yep.
and you'll go through a journey. So you'll go through some sort of like purge. You'll sweat. You'll sweat everything out. So it's like a detoxifying, a release of energies within yourself that just needs to purge out and needs to be released back to the Great Spirit. So, but yeah, once I know more about the sweat lodge, I'm certainly going to share it with you guys. But yeah, that's just my basic understanding from talking to people that I'm going to be doing it with. So I know that I'm going on a good journey. So you sit in a tent, basically. It's completely dark. You have a fire in the center, and yeah, basically it's like a charcoal fire, and they're just throwing water on it, and it's just
Yep.
smoking out through the top, through the teepee. Believe me, I've been in the teepee before, a big 20-foot one. Unreal. Like the energies in that. When I've done these rapé ceremonies,
Yep.
and I sat in the place with this person, oh my God, it's beautiful, and even had the honour to be able to sort of to take it down with him as well. I pulled it all down with him, so it was a great
Yep.
honour to do that. And but yeah, when I have more understanding of the Sweat Lodge, I'm certainly going to share it with you, because I'm sure we'll do a few more of these, and I can take you on a few more things. There's plenty to talk about. I've got heaps of stuff. So but yeah, I
Yeah.
just
By all
thought,
means.
yeah. But thanks for asking the question, Brooke. It's really good, because it's something I really want to learn as well. So, but I'd rather be honest with you guys and say this is my knowledge so far. But when I have more knowledge, I'm happy to share it with you guys. Really am. So it means a lot to me to give that to you guys.
So what were the main? So the second 7 years, you started
Hmm.
studying plant medicine.
Yeah, yeah.
What sort of things you use that for?
So yeah, I was looking at sort of natural medicines, because I wanted to sort of make my own blends, things like that. I just wanted to get into the understanding, and I've got plenty of books here too that I've read and I've looked at, and I know the benefits and the healing polarities that a lot of the plants do, and I guess that's part of the journey of what a shaman will go through. They'll learn about plants, they'll talk, but the thing is now I'm actually talking to the plants. See. So this is what I'm learning about all the
Yeah.
plants, and I'm actually starting to talk to them now. And I can go to a rainforest, or I can go somewhere and I can say, oh, there's some juniper there, or I just know the plant when I see it, and you feel it, and it talks to you and it says, oh, I can offer you this, and I can give you this and that, and there's just so many things that the natural plant kingdom offers us, and we've just forgotten about it. And this is the sad part, is we've turned to pharmaceuticals, but all that pharmaceutical stuff has been based on the natural plant system. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's like, it comes from somewhere, doesn't it? So like, and the sad part about it is they keep using it, but I'll tell you what, the natural medicine's always going to win in the end, because eventually, I feel we're going that way now. I feel everyone's going to turn more to the natural alternative medicines and really see the
Yep.
benefits of what they can actually do, and they're a lot
Well,
quicker too, a lot quicker, as
well,
in
that's
giving you that
yeah.
healing, Yeah.
Well, it's in its pure form. And when
Exactly.
when they went to when the Europeans and the Spanish went to it, when the Europeans went to America, that's what they went to the Indians. That was the chemist store. That's where
right.
they learned. That's where they learned most of it.
And see, that was part of the shaman's role in the tribe
Mm.
as well, because he was second man to the chief, like, so he was always there to be able to give the chief, we'll say, well, these are the medicines we need, or somebody's sick in the tribe. This is what we have to get. This is what I have to use to heal those people,
Yep.
so our whole tribe doesn't get sick and we wipe them out, And this is what the shaman does, is they went through that journey, similar journey to what I've been through, but, they all did it completely different back in the day. But I feel it's all a journey, You need to learn the things that you have to learn so you're able to sustain all that information. You're able to have that ability. So if someone does ask you a question like you are tonight, Brooke, you're able to sort of come up with those answers and say, well, this is what it's about, and this
Yep.
is the whole story of shamanism, Brooke. Like, and it's really good, like you're asking these beautiful questions, because it always takes me back to my foundations, and that's important
Yep.
too. You've got to have strong roots. You've got to have strong foundations. Like you said to me the other night, Brooke. You reminded me of that, and it's good because you're able to implement the things that you need to implement, and you're able to produce evidence to say, you know what, I've done that, or I can take you on a journey that I've been on. You can't take anyone where you haven't been, and that's the whole part of it all as well.
Ain't that the truth?
It is, brother. It is. But
Mm.
natural medicine, brother. It's just fascinates me, and I'm so honoured to be able to be a person who can heal others, But I know what things I can mix. So intuitively, I know what I have to do because I'm hearing it when I'm doing it, And I'll say my little prayers to the medicines, and this is something else you always do: is you talk to the medicine when you're doing it. You give it a little prayer. You give it from your heart. You give it that beautiful blessing. So, because that's what you're doing, is you've opened your heart, and now you're putting that intention in to really get that full effect of that plant medicine. So,
Yep.
and that's the beauty of natural plants. Brooke, is there. It's just beautiful. It's so beautiful. So, it could do so much for us.
Yep.
I'm so happy everyone's starting to go that way. They're really opening up more now. I think what we've all been through has really helped a lot of people, sort of giving them a bit more of an awareness and an understanding that there's much more out there. And then what we've sort of really got around us is not really real, is it? But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, people don't realize. They think they have to go and get a drug from a chemist, and if you do your research, there's natural stuff.
Definitely.
And
Yep.
people would be really surprised what's just in their backyard as far as weeds go.
Yeah,
what can be used and utilised.
And for anyone who wants to look at plant medicines, Brooke, as well, while we're on here tonight, if anyone wants to write down a really good book, you can download it, guys. I found a really good site that you can go on to. What I'll do is I'll forward that site to you, Brooke, and we can send it.
Yep,
You
I'll put it in the
just look
show
up
notes.
It's called Psychoactive Substances. So it's a big book, guys. It's like 375 pages long. But I tell you what, it's the duck nuts of the whole plant medicines. It's got every bit of information that you need to know. It's got all the pharmaceutical laws. It's got all the natural laws. It's got everything in it. Because all these I won't say it, but yeah, all these guys out there who are doing all this pharmaceutical stuff, they're robbing everyone, mate, and they're making big bucks. I tell you from it. But they seem to forget they haven't honoured that natural plant medicine that originated that pharmaceutical pill for them.
Yep.
And for that, Mother Earth always wins, doesn't she?
She does.
So this is where it will come to down the future, my friend.
Some people still haven't picked up on that.
No, definitely not. So
even as far as like when you're cooking dinner or anything like that, if you want to put the intent into it, you can make that into a medicine and get far more.
See, that opens up a whole nother thing, Brooke. What you're speaking of there. See, this opens up like mindfulness. We're talking about mindfulness now. See, anything you do in your life is mindful. It's you being aware of that mindfulness. And this is another part of shamanism as well, and everyday life. And you probably know this for yourself, Brooke, and I'm sure you do it as well. As you always wake up and you have a daily practice that you follow away. If you're doing cooking, or like you said, you're putting that intention in. If you're doing anything, it's a daily practice that you follow, something that you do, something that sustains you and gives you that beautiful energy to be able to get through the day, And you're not going to have good days all the time. You're going to have bad days, but it's having the right intention. Definitely, Brooke. Definitely, mate. having the right intention, being mindful of that intention.
So you got into Sharman. How did you just sort of started researching and you got interested in it, or was it just one thing that led to another that you just got pulled into it?
Did the research first in my second 7 years, was looking into it. My mum went overseas and went to the States a lot, and she came back and brought all these traditional artifacts back for me, and she started giving me reading materials and start, because I felt that she knew that I was looking at this stuff, and I spoke a lot about it to her. And so I did a lot of research first before I really sort of started looking into it and starting it, getting into it. And I'm glad I did that because it was able to give me a lot of knowledge and a lot of, again, foundation to really collect what I had to collect along the way. So, but I always take notes down, so bear with me, guys. I always do me notes. But yeah, just to give you an idea about what shamanism is, though. See, shamanism, it's a spiritual practice found in all cultures, right? So around the world from ancient times up to this very present day. And first and foremost, shamans' practices are practical and adaptable. So these practices will coexist over all millennia with varying cultures, systems of the government. Here, there's systems of the government. This is what I got through my research, and organised religious practices. How cool is that? Like everything, where we're going is it's all been part of it, but it's just been changed along the way somewhere. Yeah, and shamanism, it's many formalized things. It's a shamanic thread of deep connection to divine in all things. Even the Buddhists, the Christianity, they based everything on shamanism. They really did.
I was amazed when I started studying shamanism and looking into it, and when you start going through all these things, and they're all, even the shamans across the world, is most of their stuff is basically the same. What they're doing, so it's not just some thing that someone's made up over there and someone's made up of there. You just know that it's got ancient roots to the earth as one.
Well, you got to ask yourself that one question too, Brooke, and I'm sure you know this too: is why is there not a religion of shamanism? This is what you got to ask yourself, see, and this is the first question I ask myself. And you know what I come up with is that this is what I did write it down here. Here we go. That was back here, wasn't it? Yes, here it was. So yes. So in non-indigenous and shamanism culture, it is practiced as a life path. Following a shamanic perspective, individuals seek to be in relationship with the spirit in all things. They seek the use of information and guidance from non-ordinary reality to intentionally form their own life experiences. So it also says, I did some more research, and it says something about the reason why, the religion or culture was sort of never really started as such is because, shamanism, let's be honest with you, and I'm going to tell you the truth right now. Shamanism is one of the oldest forms of religion. Okay, guys?
Yeah.
There's the truth right there for you. Everything bases, again, we're talking about plant medicines. The pharmaceuticals are using the plants. Same thing with shamanism. Everything that we all believe on, or we're all following, wherever we are in the world, all diversities, cultures, all related. It all comes from shamanism. It all comes from the original religion. So, and that's the truth. So, through all my research, that was the answer I got for myself. So that made me realise this is what I want to do. This is the truth. This is the nuts and bolts of it. This is the strong foundation. This is the universal stuff that I want to follow. And I totally respect everyone's religion and cultures. Don't get me wrong, Brooke. And I have so much love for different diversities of people because I work with so many different people in my everyday life. And everyone has a beautiful story to tell, or they've learned something. But when they tell me something, Brooke, I always think, oh yeah, yep. And I know because it's from that foundation that I've learned. It's from that thing that I've learned. And it's what I was saying earlier in the night. is if we actually all started talking with each other. And it's a beautiful thing you're doing here, Brooke, because you're bringing everyone together. It just makes it a better thing because we all communicate
Yep.
together. We make it one big knowledge.
Yeah.
And this is the stuff that we've lost. This is the stuff that we've lost along the way, just because of people's greed and power.
Yeah.
You know,
Sad.
just changing scriptures, accidentally losing things along the way somewhere. You know, I'm telling you, all the stuff's there. It's there. It's just, yeah, they're never going to reveal it because they don't want us to know the truth. That's the whole story of it all.
Yeah, it doesn't
But
take much to put it together, though.
Doesn't,
when you think about it.
Well, we're becoming a very wise culture, you know, white man, you know. Like, and this is another thing too. When we go into the actual medicine world, we actually talk about all the colours. We're all related, you know. In the east, you've got the yellow race. In the south, you've got the red race. In the west, you've got the black race, and then in the north, you've got the white race. And we all come together to that true centre, which is the Creator. And that's what opens up the medicine wheel, you know, like, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. The medicine wheel, it's sort of, it has so many things to offer a shaman or any person of any religion. You can go there and seek guidance. You can talk to your spiritual advisors. You can face the beginning, which is the East, and say, right, I'm ready to start my journey. What is it that I need to learn? And it's by you putting out that prayer and intention out to the direction of the East and asking for those answers. And this is where a lot of us do go wrong. We don't ask the question. We just need to ask the questions. Because if we ask the questions, we seek the answer. If you don't ask, you won't receive, as we all know. You know what I mean? And this is where it all starts on the journey. So it's been a beautiful last 7 years, Brooke, and I've really enjoyed it so much. I've learnt so much, especially in these last 3 of them. You know, it's just been gorgeous. And I just keep learning more. You know, I'm so happy that I'm able to express it, you know, that we have this technology, that we have all these things around us, and we're able to share this love to a greater community. Hey, so
well, it's made the world a lot smaller, hasn't it? Which has sort of worked to the advantage in a way.
Oh,
because I can, otherwise, how would I have met you? I mean, I've never met a shaman before.
Exactly. There you go. Like, we're all led to who we're meant to sort of cross paths with, you know, and that's all part of the journey too. You definitely, and you know, like, you know, you'll cross people's paths and you'll be on their path for a little bit, and then you'll move on to another path. You'll just keep going. Like, life's like that. The journey's always like that. You're going to sort of be in and out and in and out and in and out, but you're always going to come back to that truth. And it's just, and that's the DNA, you know. That's how it sort of moves. Yeah.
I mean, I keep reminding some people, like, I come in and out of their past, and some of them get like cranky, like, oh, you don't like me no more. And I'm saying it's not about that. It's just our past moving. Like, just relax.
Right, you know, There's other things I'm looking at now, and I'm trying to share out there, to the greater good, you know. And what you're doing is a good thing, Brooke, you know, because you're sharing this goodness, and you're getting all these beautiful people on, and you know, you're making it a brighter future for our children, really, aren't you? That's our future.
Well, that's why I did this show, is because I used to listen to I used to listen to 100 podcasts, and it took me like 2 years of listening to podcasts to connect to. I resonate with someone, I'd check out their stuff, and then resonate with someone else on their show, and that's how I started to piece together my spiritual journey, because I didn't know where to go, I didn't know what to do, and it took me like a few years to work it out to where to go and what to do. And I did it by watching shows like this. So I wanted to not just give that back, but at the same time for me to keep continually doing that for myself and reaching out and connecting with other people and meeting people and seeing what's out there.
No, definitely. And we're all on the journey, you know. We all have to learn what we've got to learn. And we do everything in divine timing, like we were talking about earlier tonight.
Yep.
You know, everything's done in divine timing. When you're ready to hear it, you're going to hear it. That's how it is. So in this present moment now, like, you know, what I'm saying to you is you're ready to hear what I have to say. You know, it's really good. But I'm so honored to be able to learn from you too, because you've told me some things and you've shared some of your talents and what you do and some of the gifts you have. And I'm mesmerised by that, because that's something I've never looked at, you know. And it's like, cool.
It's funny how you seem to fall into stuff when it's the right time.
Definitely.
And
No, for sure. Yeah.
you know, it's not like you plan all these things. You go about your business, you keep seeking and searching, and before you know it, you're like, what? Okay.
Exactly.
Better do that then.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, for sure. Yeah, I'd love to come on again, Brooke. I really would, because like I
Yep.
have so much to share with you guys. Like, you know, and I think, you know, I don't know how long you do your lives for, but you know, I mean, we couldn't sit here for like
Oh, we
days. You know what I
we
mean?
oh yeah, yeah. Oh no, this show's just getting started.
But
We're
I reckon
still
if we break it
plenty of
up,
time.
we don't give too much at once, you know, because
Yep.
people just don't take in the information. So you've got to do little bit by bits, you know, and
Yep.
it's good that you've started it like this. How did I get into it, and what have I done to study it and look into it, and where it took me, and you know, like I guess the first thing I wanted to sort of share with everyone, and if you have any more questions, please ask. Brooke. I wanted to take everyone through like, you know, the medicine wheel, and really sort of, I think that's a good foundation to start on with shamanism for those
Yep.
who are looking into shamanism, or you know, for those who are doing it, and maybe there's something they've missed along the way. You know, we can probably, you know, fill in those little answers for them, sort of thing. So
Well,
yeah.
tell us about the show. Tell us about the medicine wheel.
Okay, so cool, guys. So just to let you know, right? So I'll just go back here. I've got all my paper around everywhere again. Here we go. So I've got all my stuff here. See, it's all here. Oh yeah. Okay. Right. So sorry, I got my pages mixed up again, guys. I've got it all here. Oh, I've lost some pages. Oh, here we go. All right. Here we go. Sorry. Apologies, guys. Rightio. So guys, so yeah, this is anything I've sort of I've noted it all down. I don't know if you can see it anyway. Yeah. So the medicine wheel, guys, it represents how things are natural in the world and how it comes in all fours. You know. So you know, when I say all fours, you've got the four directions. Okay. So you've got the east, you've got the south, you've got the west, and then you've got the north. And then from that, you've got the four seasons. You've got the spring, the summer, the autumn, and the winter. And then on top of that, you've got the four stages of life that you go through. You've got the infinite, the child, the adult, and the elder. And then you've got the four basic elements that come into that medicine wheel, which are fire, water, earth, and air. And then you have the four states of being, which is spiritual, emotional, physical, and mental. And then you have the four sacred medicines that overrules it all, which is the tobacco, the sage, the cedar, and the sweetgrass. So the medicine wheel represents the wholeness of life and the importance of maintaining that life. And then from the medicine wheel, you know, it's a space, like I said, it's a space where it's a place, it's a portal. It's a portal for all beings. It's somewhere where you can sit in the medicine wheel and it can carry your prayers to your places we wish to send them to. We can use this space as a connection to our guides, teachers, ancestors, allies, and the spirits that we believe in above. We can journey between the realms, the lower world, the middle world, the upper world with the medicine wheel. In the time before the medicine wheel was used astrologically to identify seasons, solstices, and equinoxes, and different star systems appeared on the horizons and moved across the sky at certain times of the year. People would track the best times for planting, relocating, harvesting. So from that, you know, just to give you guys a bit of an idea, you know, so we always begin. So the first stone is the creator, okay? So to give you a base. So imagine a wheel, okay? We're drawing a circle. We put a cross in that circle. And then to the left of the circle, or wherever you are in the world, it'll be the east, okay? So this is where you will start. You will start your journey on the east. Now in the east, you know, you have all the, so there you go, just to give you an idea. I don't know. Can you see that there, guys?
So you face south when you.
Yeah. So you start from the east, you work your way to the south, you go to the west and then to the north. So you will always start in the south. So everything will start on the cycle of spring. Okay? So spring is your new cycle. So this is what life is. So we've got a whole year, okay, that we go through. Okay, so you'll always start around September, let's say, when spring is. That's when you'll start your whole new journey again. And this is how the medicine wheel works, is that in that whole year, we used to work our way on the 13 moons. I don't know if you've ever heard about the 13 moons.
Yeah.
Everything was based on a 13 moon cycle. So before the Pope come into the world and changed things, it became the Gregorian calendar. And now we have
Yeah.
the 12-month calendar cycle.
Because
So
we
the
used to have 1
13
month
moon
off.
cycle, exactly. Right, that's exactly right, brother. That's so true. But yeah, everything works in the cycle of the moon, the sun, the universal energy, see? So what I've just said about the 4 directions, the 4 elements, the 4 seasons, everything is combined within this medicine wheel. So not only is it a good tool to actually go and get guidance and get the resources and the things that you need, you have all those universal divine source energies coming right through you to the center. You are the center. You are the creator of your own life. So,
Does the medicine wheel change for us that are in the southern hemisphere?
yes, it will. So you'll have a different change of things, because of where it's based and situated in the world. It will be turned around. Okay. So you can imagine. So if you look at this, right, I'll give you a show. So you guys are looking at it from, how would that be in the camera? I've never done this before, so you'll have to bear with me. So I'm
It's
in the
not like
east now. So in this here, where my hand is, I'm in the east, okay? So this is where I'm facing the east. Southern hemisphere, right? You turn it around, see what I mean? And this is how it would work, okay? So theirs would be a completely different thing. So just imagine like you're on the other side of the world. It's going to be turned around, isn't it? Because this is how the cycle works, day and night. See? And in the center you've got the line. So this is how it works. It's completely different over there to what it is here.
so there'll be
But it's all based on the same facts, yeah.
so there'll be 2 tribes or 2 shamans that live near the equator arguing about which way the circle goes all their lives.
Definitely. Definitely. No, definitely. But they come to some equality,
Yep.
With each other. Because you think about it, everyone's doing all their practices on the southern side of the world, and we're in the northern, right, let's say. So everyone in the southern is going through that cycle, but we're going through the cycle too. So we're always interconnecting. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
Again, we're going back
Another
to the center
Kundalini.
like we were talking about before. Exactly. And this is how the flow goes. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And from the east. Sorry, you're up, Brooke.
Oh no, it's just when you were talking about the spirit, the different, everything has a different aspect. So you'd go to that. So you'd go to that direction. So if you create a sacred space, you're in that circle. Depending on what your question was, you'd go to that. What aspect you were dealing with, you'd go to that section of the circle to ask the question.
Exactly. Definitely. And this is what I'm going to share with you guys further is I'm just giving you a broad spectrum of what the medicine wheel is, but what we're going to do is I'm going to take you through each direction, okay? And I'm going to tell you what each direction has to offer. So then people have an understanding of what I'm talking about. But what I have to do is I have to present it as a whole, okay? A whole picture for you first. This is what we're going to talk about. This is the medicine wheel, okay? So when we go to the medicine wheel again, so in that direction of the east, which is yellow, so yellow is the yellow skinned people, which I talked about. We're all related. All 4 races of the world are related. We're all brothers and sisters in this big world, everyone. Okay? So there we go. But the fire element is in the east. The water element is in the south. The earth is in the west. And the air is in the north. Now, if you turn that around, okay, let's say, right, it's going to be the opposite. Okay, are you with me? So in the east, it's going to be earth. In the south, this is weird doing it on camera. In the south, it's going to. I'm trying to get my proportions right. In the south, it's going to be air. Okay, and in the west, it's going to be fire, and then in the north, it's going to be water. See what I'm saying? So it's going to be a little bit different again. but it's because you've turned the whole thing around. So everything's just based. It's a mirror. It's a mirror image of everything to give you an understanding of what you. And it's good you brought that up, Brooke, because I was going to tell you that, but you got it. You're onto it, so it's really good.
Thank Lorraine.
So yes, definitely. And in the east, we've got the eagle, spirit of the eagle. Okay, we've got the spirit of the coyote in the south. We've got the spirit of the bear in the west, and then we've got the spirit of the buffalo in the north. And then the seasons, we've got the spring in the east, the summer in the south, so the autumn in the west, and then the winter in the north. So we're going to go through each of these cycles throughout the medicine wheel, throughout the whole year of the seasons. Bring all the elements in, bring all the spirits of the animals in, bring all the spirits of the plants in, all into the center of the self. Come back to the self. So, and all the races are coming in together as well. So we're bringing all the energies in because we're all related. So we're not one race. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a white person, and this is what I've been destined to be.
So you just.
But I'm also a yellow person. I'm a red person. I'm a black person too, because I had that within me. We all do. We all have that within us. We're all related.
So it's sort of like honoring the oneness of everything and bringing everything in together into the sacred space. So the singularity.
Yeah. And then, you've got the plants. You've got the tobacco in the east, the sage for the south, the cedar leaf or the juniper for the west, sweetgrass for the north. So they're your actual plants that come. Is cedar the same
as pine?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Similar in ways, but yeah, it's a bit higher quality, as in the pine. It's the queen of the pine, basically. Yeah. The cedar tree. So yeah. But you can use pine, but yeah, I think a lot of maybe indigenous people use the pine, or they'll use the
radiata pine or something.
Well. Yeah, or the juniper as well. The junipers were used a lot more in Australia because it's more common here in Australia. There's sort of less cedar trees here, whereas they're more. I think are they more over your way, the cedar tree? In Australia?
We sort of got pine everywhere.
I haven't seen many cedar trees around here, and that's another story we'll talk about later too. About
Adelaide's got plenty of forests.
Yeah. I'm sure you've got cedar there.
They're all man-made though. That's the thing.
It would be now, yeah. And then you've got the times of the day, Brooke, within this medicine wheel. So in the east, you've got the dawn. This is when So I don't know when the sun rises down your way. It'd probably be around about maybe I'd say about 5:20. 5:20 in the morning, I think it'd be for you. Maybe 4:50. I think it would be for you in the morning, because it's about 5:20 up here. Now, with the dawning of the day, guys, I don't know if you were aware of this, but at the very beginning, when the sun is rising, you've got a 20-minute bracket there. You can actually look at the sun. Okay, this is in the dawn. It's the beginning of the day. You have a 20-minute bracket there where you can actually look and absorb the sun's energies into yourself. Don't go trying it though, guys, until you learn how to do it. But you've got to be someone who knows those times and know when it's right. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen it a few times myself, and it's beautiful. You just get that 20 minutes of essence, that pure essence from the sun's energies, because you can't look at the sun for the rest of the day. It's too bright. You've got that 20-minute window to actually absorb that beautiful energy to start your day off.
Is it the same?
In the south,
is it the same at sunset?
So at sunset, very much the same, but you can look at the sunset. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't hurt your eyes. It's just that first period when the sun's coming up from the horizon. Boom, you've got that 20-minute gap.
Yep.
And you've got to work it out with the times, in the medicine wheel as well. And this is the thing I've been learning is the time frames of the medicine wheel. You've got to just do it at that right time, because if you don't, it's going to hurt your eyes. So yeah, but don't try that, people, until somebody actually shows you that properly.
That one doesn't count. If you look at that,
I always say that to people, think, I'm going to go look at the sun. I was like, just make sure you've got somebody with you always. And this is another thing about shamanism. If you're doing always make sure you've got someone with you who knows what they've done it. They've been through that journey. They're able to express it to you. It's very important you do this, guys. But if you feel that you have it within you to try it and do it, and give it a go, but always ask the question. There's always one person you can call, or you can have a look online. There's plenty of resources and stuff online as well. From what I've seen, there's some good stuff, but there's a lot of crap too, People just haven't got an idea. But hey, we're all learning, you know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't think we're human beings. I think we're human becoming.
Yeah.
And then in the south, we go into noon, then we go to the sunset, and then we go to the midnight. And then in the life stages, we go through the birth, the rebirth, we go through the adolescence, we go through the adulthood, and then the eldership. So everything's combining together. Now, the qualities that you're going to get from these directions in the medicine wheel. So from the east, you're going to get joy, illumination, laughter, and peace. From the south, you're going to get love, empowerment, learning, and growth. From the west, you're going to get your healing, your strengths, your nurturing, and your courage. So see, these are the energies you guys can actually call on for the day for yourself. If you're feeling you're needing a bit of healing or a bit of strength, well, you know what? Turn to the west. Ask the energies to come through for you guys. This is how it all sort of works. It becomes a daily practice. It becomes something it's like your Bible. It's your little ritual that you'll do for yourself. And what's important to all of us? Us. We're ourselves. We're so important to ourselves. Because if we're happy, everyone around us is happy. And hey, if we're not feeling well, then others are going to come and help us. But if you know how to get the resources to bring them into yourself, I guarantee you're going to have a better day. Because that's where the mindfulness is going to come in. The mindfulness is going to just keep clicking in, and before you know it, it just becomes second nature. It's just part of your day. And then from the north, you're going to get your knowledge, you're going to get your abundances, so your gratitude and wisdom. So those people who are wanting to win lots of money and all that stuff, go to the north, you know what I mean? Always face the north. No, it's when I say abundance, it's abundance of bringing those beautiful energies in, bringing that knowledge and that wisdom in from the elders, from the ancestors. It's the again, it's the nuts and nuts of the medicine wheel. It's where you learn.
Yep.
Because when you get old, you've learnt everything, haven't you? You've had all that wisdom. You've had all that knowledge. You've had all that teaching in your life. So it's a place where you can always go to get that true clarity when you need it. Because this is where we're getting our information from, guys. We're getting it from the divine source. This is where it's coming from. We're being fooled. We're being fooled in the world. I'm sorry, but everything's an illusion. It's such an illusion. The real truth's in front of us. It's already here. We're just not looking at it. So, yeah. So that's a bit of the medicine wheel anyway, guys, just to give you a base on the medicine wheel.
Yep.
So I hope that made some sense to you
I've
guys.
been told someone looked it up and pine and cedar are a bit different. So I assume that's why they use juniper berries instead.
The juniper.
Yeah.
I know there were some similarities with the pine and cedar, but I think it was like the top notch. But that's why I said the juniper. Yeah, because that's what I was told as well. But we did have that conversation about the pines and stuff, and that was what was sort of come up. But that's good. Somebody's looked it up. That's awesome. That's giving me the clarity too. Cool. So any more questions on that, Brooke? Like from what we've spoken about, or do you want me to keep going? Or
no. It's really interesting. So, can you walk us through a story that you've needed to know something and you've used something that you've needed to do for yourself that you've struggled with and you've gone to the medicine wheel, so you can sort of show people how you've used it and walked it?
Sure. So here we go, classic example. And I'm sure we've all experienced a part of this, but this is me personally. COVID-19 hit back in 2019. Yeah, was it?
Yep.
Everything I had in my life, everything that I'd established and built, I lost. I lost everything. All due to COVID. I lost my job. My finances went down. I nearly lost where I was living. I nearly lost the person, that I loved because I was just so devastated, and just going through some really bad stuff, and I felt like I was hurting them. I didn't make time for my daughter as much as I used to, so I went through some pretty hard times in my life. And you know what I did is I turned to the medicine wheel and I thought, you know what, I'm going to change this. I'm going to make it what I've learned and what I've studied and researched these years. I'm going to start using it. I'm really going to start practicing it and putting it into action, you know. And I did. And I tell you what, I had to turn back, and everything in my life has just built back up from that nothingness
Yep.
to something now, to actually sharing these beautiful wisdoms and these teachings that I've learned with the greater community right now. You know, making me the person that I am today to be able to communicate and speak clearly and to understand and to address the questions that need to come forth, you know. This is where I've come. So, yeah, thanks for asking that question, Brooke. It really touches my heart because it did. It made me change. It made me realise that I had to start acting on what I started believing in. And
Yep.
that's all it takes. It just takes that spark in your life. It just takes something low that you're going to go in. We've got to go through the dark times to see the light, you know? We've got to
Yeah,
go
we're
through
gonna,
those bad to see the good, you know? And we're going to have things like that happen in our life. But again, I'm not turning back ever, Brooke. Never turning back. Because where I'm going is much greater and I'm just learning so much more.
yep.
I just want to be able to share it with you guys. I really do. From my heart.
So
And that's
you would
what I
have
always
had
say. Sorry.
so in that time you would have had to just put all those practices of the medicine wheel into like a daily
I did.
practice and
I had to actually surrender. I had to surrender myself to something that I didn't know. I couldn't see it. See, this is the thing. We have a visual. We've got to see visuals, or you know, or we've got to hear something. You know, this is where we go through all our senses, and that's a whole other thing that I can talk to you about. But yeah, we all go through senses. You know, in our life, these are things that are we've all been spoken about at school. We've learned, you know, we all feel, you know, we all hear, we all see, we all touch, you know, we all smell, and we all have that inner knowing. Some of us don't have those things, and we're missing, we may be missing that, you know, it could be due to something that we've gone through in life, or something's happened, or we've been born that way. But you know what, we always are a little bit stronger in our other senses to be able to counteract that sense that we're missing, see? And this is the good part about it, because you've always got that sixth one, which is that inner knowing. See what I'm saying?
yep.
So inner knowing's always going to be there. And this is what I'm trying to say, is that it was that inner knowing and me surrendering and just giving up everything I totally built hard for. I just thought, you know what? Bring it on. I'll give it to you. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to follow the way, and I'm going to see where it's going to take me. So I took that risk in my life. It was a risk, but it was a me surrendering as well, just giving it away and saying,
Yep.
I give it back to Mother Earth. I just give it back to her and said, look, I don't understand what's going on, because none of us did. None of us had an understanding of what had to happen in life at that time. And a lot of us went through some really hard times. And I know a lot of people lost their jobs, and I know the economy went down, and a lot of bad things happened, you know. And yeah, it's just been good to be able to know that I did that, Brooke, and I was able to surrender and just take that moment and start from that point on. And it's been all uphill from there, brother. So yeah, definitely. And everything's presented to you, you know.
Yep.
Like you said, you cross paths with people you're meant to cross paths with. Everything starts opening up because you start trusting, you surrender, you're opening your heart. It's your true center. Right there is your true center, everyone. And when you open that, you know what? Everything else follows. It really does. And that's why I always say, from my heart to yours, because it is. It's always from my heart that I speak. I
Yep.
listen, and I feel, and I love. So yeah. So yeah, thanks for
Good.
asking that, Brooke. I really appreciate that. That was beautiful.
I know, because I see people all the time on the shows, and then they're worried about, am I going to meet this person? Am I going to meet? I don't know anyone like this, or you know, teachers, partners, soulmates, or whatever. And it's just, man, if you just do your stuff and move forward,
Exactly.
right?
You just got to believe in yourself. You just got to
Yeah,
believe. You know, you've got to
it'll
put it
come.
out there. Like if you want something in your life, yeah, okay. Like us as psychics and mediums, Brooke, you know, we can give you that guidance and that clarity in that direction. You know, the thing is we can show you one direction in your life, right? But whether you make that direction or take that direction is totally up to you.
Yep.
And I know you believe in that too, Brooke. Yeah, you like that's how you work as well. So And that's the thing, is that we all just need to take that moment for ourselves. And we need to let go of our fears. We need to let go of the things that are going on in our lives. And we just gotta give it back to Mother Earth. Give it to the universe. This is what the universe is here for us. It provides us with all these beautiful things in our life. And it's staring us in the face every day. We're so tied up in the reality of the world because we haven't been shown this stuff. See, something we've never been taught in the school or in any sort of system, you know. So unless you were born into it and you had someone
Yeah.
there showing you the way, you know, like, and a lot of people are fortunate enough to be able to go through that, you know. Like I talked to a couple of elders, and they've taken their kids, you know, a Native American tribe, they've taken their kids through the stages of their life, you
Yeah.
know, like they've got their 7-year-old kids, like you know, like meditating and doing all these little activities to teach them a lesson. So making them mindful, you know, this is the foundation they're building with their kids,
Yeah.
building in their kids, and they're just bringing out what's already in us. A lot of us, it's already in us. This is the
Yeah.
thing. All the information's inside of us. It's just you've got to let go of it. You've got to let go of the shit that you've been given. I'm sorry to say, but you just got to let go of all the crap you've been given in life, and you've got to open it up for some new space to bring all the real stuff into yourself, because that's where you're going to seek the truth, and this is where you're going to find the answers. And you know, I love helping people. Don't get me wrong, and it's a beautiful thing, because I feel that, you know, some people just can't do it because they're just not in that space. But sometimes it's you giving them that little spark, bro. Just that one spark to make something. Oh my
Click.
God, that's all I needed to hear. Exactly, like
Yeah.
that. Just click, and that's all it needs sometimes. And you've helped somebody. You've done your job. You've done what it is that you're meant to do. And this is why we do what we do, bro.
You're right, so I can clock off
Definitely.
now.
I love it.
Just getting started.
Oh, that's cool. I'm still waiting for my cup of tea. Hey, look at this.
Yeah.
I might have
Yeah.
water, actually. I've got some water
Yeah. My
here.
coffee's going cold.
Yeah.
Better hit the water.
I only have one coffee a day, Brooke. Hey, that's it. I have it in the morning. That's it. After I've done all my stuff, I just have that one coffee. But I'll usually drink tea or water, or I'll have, you know, have a couple other things on the way. Or,
I hung around. I used to just drink seasonally,
mm-hmm.
and then I hung around a coffee fiend, and I've never been the same since.
Yep.
And it's just,
Yeah, the coffee beans. See, if you're getting the good coffee beans, you're getting the good stuff, eh? Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah.
I love instant. I don't care, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
got to get off it. Drink more tea.
Yeah, I'm more of a caramel latte person myself. What the
Yeah,
caramels, the flavour.
I'm an
Yeah.
almond milk latte when I go out.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm. I just can't drink pure coffee anymore. I used to do it back in the day, but I just can't do it. You know, the body just doesn't take it anymore. So,
So,
mm,
what would you recommend for? So, how would you people letting go? You say you got to let go. Okay, so
okay.
what
So
what has helped
surrendering,
you?
so
What has
letting
helped
go.
you? What has helped you to let go? What really worked for
You
you?
know what's helped me? That's a good question to ask, Brooke. The thing that's helped me to let go is that I believe that there was something much more out there. I just felt like we weren't getting the right answers going through that time. You know, and when we all went through COVID, I felt like we were all being lied to, and I just had that inner knowing. You know, that sixth sense, that feeling in my gut that I've always gone with, and it's always served me well. You know, and I believed that it was time I had to make a change. You know, and that I had to start seeking the truth. So it's you putting that intention out there, and, you know, just walking. Like, get up in the morning, guys. Like, the first thing you do, right, before, this is where we go in daily practice. The first thing you do before you can get out of bed, how about you all try this tomorrow morning? You wake up in the morning, 10 minutes before you get out of bed, everyone do some gratitude. How about you go through that gratitude in your life and just be grateful for all the things that you really do have around you in your house, all the people that are with you, all the family that you have, you know, all the people that have passed on that you've loved, you know, and they've served their time, you know, like, be grateful for all those things you have. Be grateful just to take that first breath, to be here for the day,
Yep.
you know, and this is where it all delves and where it all starts from. is, you know, you can just sort of go out to the earth and say, oh, look, just take all my shit away. And, you know, and I'm telling you, it's not going to work. You've got to sustain it, and you've got to
Yep.
you've got to keep getting yourself into a routine. You've got to journal stuff down. You've got to write your feelings and your thoughts down. You've got to go through that process of, like I said, letting all the shit out, writing all the shit out, letting it go, put it in a fire, whatever. Just release it, let it go. If this is what you've got to do, you know, even to the point, write everything down, put it in the bloody freezer, in the back of the freezer, let it go. You know,
Yep.
let it freeze. It no longer serves you. But you do. You've got to go through this gratitude. You've got to go through this daily practice. After you do that, go out and have that glass of water. Get your system started up. All of us wake up and have that cup of coffee first up, don't we? Or a cup of tea or something like that. First thing you need to do is drink the water. Get your system started up. All your systems need to start. It's like a car. You've got to get the fuel through the motor. Same sort of thing.
Yeah, I can start doing that. That's a great idea.
That's what I'm saying. It starts your whole systems up, and your day is so much better because everything starts working properly. Your receptors, everything, you
Yep.
know. And then I learned all this stuff in the naturopathy when I was doing the natural therapies and that. Everything you put into your body is what you're going to produce, what you put out. Like
Yep.
with a car, you know, the lecturers gives an example like a car. If you give it the good fuels and all the good oils and everything, it's going to give you better performance, isn't it?
Yep.
We're exactly the same. We're just a vessel. We're a physical shell vessel that has a beautiful soul inside who wants to come out.
Well, it's so important is start the day. I mean, I do that myself. I learned that is, when you first wake up, just get into that, because the veils are thin too when you're sort of just woken up. So it's a good time to ask questions to spirit, but always give gratitude and thanks for the day, and set that whole intention of the day as soon as you wake up.
No, definitely.
Before your ego kicks in.
Yeah, well, exactly. You know. Yeah. Well, hey, you know, you've got ego, and yeah, what was the other thing? There was something on the other side of ego. I did have that down somewhere. Yeah, I'll tell you all that. But yeah, you're right. You know, it's just it's you just waking up and doing the right thing for you. You know, like this is what's going to get you over the line. You know, this is what's going to get you there. Everyone, it's just you doing the right thing for you to start with. Because when you're doing the right thing for yourself, you know what? Then you're able to help others. Then you're able to give advice and guidance to others because, you know, you're actually feeling pretty good within yourself because you've done the right things to start your day off. And everyone has got their own things of doing things, you know, for their daily ritual or daily practice, you
Yep.
know. Don't get me wrong. But it's you just having that constancy and that trust and believing and knowing that something there much greater is going to help you. Just by you doing that, you're letting go of it and you're just surrendering. You're saying, look, I trust. I trust and I believe, you know, and yeah, putting the good foods in your body is always good too, you know. If people who are lacking in energy, you know, energy problems, things like that, then it's usually something to do with they're not putting good food in their body. So this is where they're losing the energies. And that's a whole different, completely thing again. So, but yeah, like you
Yep.
said, Brooke, you talk to spirit, you know, do your meditations, whatever you do, you know, whether it be your yoga, your exercises, whatever's going to make you feel good to start your day. And this is how all these successful people become successful in life because they go through these daily rituals or these daily practices every day in their life. This
I
is
mean,
what they do.
I noticed that this today. I mean, my intuition always says, like when I get up in the morning, says go for a ride, and I've been slack late, and I'm like, okay, yes, intuition. I went for a ride this morning, and then I came back to get something to eat, and lo and behold, I made a healthier choice. And I'm just thinking, I didn't mean to make a healthier choice, but it was easier to,
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it
you
is.
know.
It's easier. It makes you feel good too because you've done that for you. You know,
Mm,
walking your dog. That's another good bit of exercise to get the body going too. Taking the dog for a walk
yep,
because the dog's going to benefit from it too. It's something I've got to do a bit more of. I've been a
yep.
bit slack lately, but yeah. But it is. It's something I was sort of come across as that. You know, just doing that, something simple like that, taking the dog for a walk because the dog's getting the exercise and you're feeling good too. You sort of loosened everything up. But yeah,
Well,
you know, always journal, guys. Journal too.
yep,
It's really important. Just let all your crap out. If you got heaps of crap inside, let it out. Just write it down. And like I said, go burn it. Go put it in the freezer. Let it go. It doesn't serve you anymore, you know. And then write another list or another journal. Have two journals. Have the bad journal and the good journal. The good and the bad. Put all the bad shit in the bad one and the good shit in the other one. And then bring on the good stuff for yourself, you know, and
Yep.
then everything's going to start to change. Everything's going to become synchronized. Everything's going to start to formulate like the medicine wheel. It's going to be a consistent flow. And this is what the medicine wheel is based on. It's constant flow. It's continuous energy. It's never going to die. It's never going to get old. It's never going to go out of fashion. It's always going to be there because it's been there from the very beginning.
Yep.
And this is the proof it's been hidden from us. It's just something so simple. It's the simplicities in life. It's us that make it harder, but it's the simplicities in life that make your life a lot easier. And all else will just follow. We're all just thinking too much because that's what we've been trained to do. We're always thinking. We're using this and we're talking from this, but we're never using this. This is what we forget. So, and it's all part of the journey. You know, when you go through shamanism and this is parts of things that you learn about life and what you learn about yourself. This is a true path. This is an original belief, an original base to work from, because everything has been worked from that base. And this is why I've gone this way, Brooke. This is why I follow this, because I feel it's something bigger. I feel it's much greater than us. And I feel it's the right flow of energy that we all need in this great, beautiful world. You know, all the Indians, all the different religions. You know, I'm not going to mention many, but yeah, from what I believe in, you know, with the Native American Indians and that, they've always tried to share that to others. They've always tried to put that message out. You know what? People have just been ignoring them. The thing is that people weren't ready to hear the truth. Now is the divine timing to hear the truths. Now is the time to move forward on this great journey all together and make it a beautiful place and a brighter future for our children. Yeah. That's where the better leaders, the better decisions are going to be made, and you know.
The wisdom, the
wisdom,
the truth,
peace,
truth transcends illusion.
love. You know what? And these guys are lucky. They've got the technology. We never had that as kids, but you know what? These guys are so lucky because they've got that. That's just something there that's going to help with their advancement in their generation.
So
it's only going to get better, but with technology's going to get better.
So if someone was wanted to get into shamanism and they wanted to research, where would you what sort of direction would you point them into or steer them into? Would be a good place to start.
Well, you know, as I always say, you know, it's always good to have a look on the internet, do an internet search first. Just start typing in some questions, write some questions down first. This is what I did. I wrote down a few questions that I wanted to ask myself. And, you know, like, go sit out in the earth just for a little bit and think about it, what you've just asked. You know, like what you've just researched. You know, don't try and do everything at once. Just do a little bit at a time. You know, like if you want to look into shamanism, look into it. You know, because watch some videos. There's plenty of stuff on Gaia. There's plenty of stuff on like I think it's YouTube. Plenty of stuff to watch. Like you know, even just playing some shamanistic music in the background. You know, it's going to get you more involved in looking into shamanism, because you're putting yourself into that resonance, into that vibration. Best thing is just start your research first, guys, and then when you're ready, you know, and you feel it's something you want to do, after you seek that guidance within yourself and you've sat out with the universe, because that's something else I suggest, is sit out there with the universe. Sit out there and ask the questions, because that's the master you're talking to. Like, that's the person you're talking to. So, and if you feel that in your heart it's the right thing to do, then go and seek somebody who can give you the wisdom, someone who can give you the teaching, someone who's done it themselves, who's you know, gone through the process themselves, you know. And don't get me wrong, there's always something to learn, Bill. Always something to learn.
Yeah.
Like I'm always learning stuff in shamanism and you know, always learning about natural medicine, always learning about something different in my life. But I learn it because I have to learn it, because I know that I've got to pass it on to others. And, you know, you're open to come and, you know, give me a call or whatever, or, you know, you can jump on I mean, I've got my website up and coming soon, but you can jump on my thing and ask me questions or whatever. I'm happy to help. I've got a lot of material here that I've done already myself, you know, and that's been passed on to me too, things that have been passed on to me, and with permissions, I'm able to pass it on to them. So, yeah, but I've always got to seek permission first, you know, if I pass anything on. Some of my own stuff, I'm happy to pass on because it's my stuff. But some of the stuff that I've learned from my elders, I've got to ask. It's the right thing to do. It's just that common respect that you have for that person. And most of the time you're going to get a yes from them anyway. So cool. As long as you're just leaving their stuff on there and their name, that's all you need to do. Simple.
Yep.
But, it's all material. It's all evidence. It's all research. It's all been done. So yeah, anyone wanting to look into it, start doing your internet searches, guys, and start looking within and see if it's the right path for you. So, yeah.
Someone's asking, what's the most enlightening book that you've read at the beginning of your spiritual journey?
Oh, here we go. The first book I actually read at the beginning on the spiritual journey was the 9 Insights of Life, the Celestine Prophecy. I don't know if everyone remembers that book, but it took me through the 9 Insights of Life. It was really inspiring to me because it really gave me an understanding of things that I knew but I didn't know, and it made me ask a lot of questions. So it sort of like triggered me to ask those intuitive questions or go within a bit deeper and look within yourself. But yeah, it told you all the facets of life, how everything starts from the beginning and it works its way through, and then there's a middle of part of life, and then there's an end part to life. So it was sort of based on what I'm doing now. When I've done basically the full circle, and I've just come back to the medicine world. But it's the same sort of theory. It's all based on actual fact and what people have done and researched and discovered within themselves, and they've just shared it in a book. They've done it in a non-fictional way, so they've made it like a story, so you understand it. You get the idea of what it is. So yeah, that and Shirley MacLaine, Out on a Limb. That was another book I read too, and I watched her video too. That really inspired me too when she went to Peru, and she started learning about meditation. Like just staring at a candle with a meditation, and that's what she was presenting. And she was, a successful lady doing really well in life. She just felt like there was something missing. So this is a lady that's done everything in her life, and she was just so. She just felt something missing. Something wasn't right. So yeah, it's books like that, the inspiring ones, that are going to trigger things off for you. So whoever said that, that was beautiful. And I thank you for that, because it does. It just makes me. It reminds me again of my foundation, of where I began and where I started. And this is the thing. You've got to have a good, strong foundation. This is what you said, Brooke. Having that strong foundation, be able to go back to that memory, and just think about it again. It brings things up in me again. It's like, oh my God, I'm so good, at doing this and that now, because I learnt this and I learnt that from those books, So, yeah. So they're the 2 books I would recommend for anyone really starting out. Yeah.
We got Margaret Rogerson asks, can females be a shaman? Or do they got a different class?
Of course they can. We all can do, Margaret. Definitely love. You know what? As I was saying to Brooke earlier tonight when we were speaking, I never really like to call myself a shaman, and I mean it's a name that we all use because it gets our attention, and I mean it's something that we're actually to look at on the internet, because it was a shaman back then. But I look at myself as a medicine man, and you can be a medicine woman as well. We all have the abilities to do it, male or female, because you know what? In the end of it, it's just our physical show, really, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's the soul within that wants to learn. So we are all equal, you know what I mean? And males and females are very much the same in ways, but we're very different too. That's another good book to read too. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. I read that one, so that'll tell you the differences about women and males and females as well. We're so very different breeds of people. Men will tend to go into their caves a little bit more, whereas women will be more open and they'll talk about things, or they'll talk a lot about things, which is really good because it brings things out into the open. So yes, Margaret, to your question, yeah, anyone can do it, love. Anyone at all. You just got to have that belief, or you just got to have that understanding to know that you can do it. And go research. Look into. There's a lot of circles you can go to, a lot of groups with females. I think you were down New South Wales way, Margaret, if I remember. Yeah, there's plenty of circles down there, love. You could tap into, check it out. So that's another good thing too, guys. Is go and check out some groups. there be some circles or some groups going, you know. Go and check out a few groups if you're looking into it as well. I did forget to mention that, because that's really important too, because it's going to give you an open view of what people are doing, you know. And if you don't resonate with it, just, yeah, I mean, stay there and out of respect, but yeah, don't go back. So it's always good just to do what you resonate with. If you resonate with
Yeah.
someone, stay there. If not, just move on and keep seeking. Don't stop there. Just keep having a look. You're eventually gonna cross paths. Just like what's happened here tonight, Brooke. We've crossed
Yeah.
paths. You know, you just got to keep seeking, and that's where you're going to get your resource and your knowledges and your wisdoms from. So it's going to give you a true calling of what it is that you really must do in life. So we all have a journey, and we're all in it together. You know, we are all in it together. But I tell you what, if we all share it together and we make it one beautiful thing, it's going to be so much better for everyone.
And then we can accelerate the process too.
Definitely, Brooke. Definitely. It's totally right. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you for that question, Margaret. That was awesome. Cool.
So, have you got any stories that you'd like to share about?
Any stories?
Yeah, stories that, whether about your experiences, your spiritual experiences.
Yeah, happy to do that. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
No problems. Yeah, so yeah, but going back when I first started the 7 years, the last 7 year cycle, I had a couple of visions that I went through, and a couple of experiences that blew me away. Um, never thought I was going to go through something like this, but I used to see people's auras and stuff when the second part. Because I'd done all that awakening part through the first 7, but I started seeing everyone's auras, and I was out one day and I was in the city, and oh my god, it was just like walking through a bloody field of flowers. I tell you, there was just bubbles everywhere of colour, and it was just so beautiful, you know, and it made me aware that, oh my god, like I can actually see the beauty of the world. Like, this is what I got from it. Like, I can actually see people's, you know, energy centers around them, which is really good, because we're all working on vibration and energy, you know, and this is how we're all clicking, is when you're on that right vibration or that right energy, you know, with that person who's doing something similar to you, you're always going to connect with that person, because it's you transferring those energies back and forth to each other. So that was a good experience, you know, and that blew me away. The other one I had was probably a little bit later on in the 7 years, more in the mid part of it. I actually had a couple of experiences, and I jumped out of my body. I had like an astral projection, as what people would call it, and oh my god, you know, I was just lying in bed, and I'm next minute I'm in this deep meditative state, going through my meditation. I was listening to some really weird music, like it was just something I'd never heard, but a friend gave it to me and said, "Oh, try this," you know. Put it on, and then I see my body, and then I see my bed, and then next minute I was looking down and I could see my room, and then next minute I seen the roof of my house, and then from there I was like, I just kept going, and I was like, I could just see like where at the city I was in the state, and it just kept going, and then before I knew it, I was actually out in the universe, floating in that great divine energy. You know, it was so beautiful, and I felt like a little baby again. I felt like my inner child had just been reawoken. It just come out of me, you know, and oh, it just gives me goosebumps thinking about it, you know. But it was so beautiful, and I didn't. The thing is everyone said when they astral project, you know, so I read a couple of books on it too about astral projection. That you had a silver lining, you know, and I did see parts of it, but I didn't see the full thing, you know. But I think I was just more intrigued of the experience I was having, and when I was sort of floating up there for a little bit, I got a little bit scared, and when I got scared, it was like bang, I was back in my body like that, like just like that, in that moment, just having that experience of just feeling like, oh my god, you know, like, because it is, you're up pretty high, and some of us don't like heights. I mean, I'm not a real height person myself, but yeah, I tell you, but yeah, that was another good experience I had too, you know, And then, you know, I guess the third good one that I had too. I've had many, like, but I'm just going on important ones that really sort of helped me through and made me understand and travel a bit further. Is I met a friend of mine. I met this guy, and he was a really nice guy, and he'd sort of gotten into he got me into all the spiritual stuff at the beginning. You know, I met him down the track there at the beginning of it all when I was having my spiritual awakening, and he gave me this crystal, you know, and he said, "Oh, you know, you're gonna look into this crystal and you're gonna see something." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, whatever, you know." Like,
Yep.
and I did. I looked into it, and then I started to realize that there was actually I was seeing all these pictures in these crystals. So I started, I guess, what do they call it, crystal scrying. I was starting to see through these crystals and see like parts of the world that I'd never even seen in my life. And I had this one particular crystal that he gave me. When I looked through it, I've seen this place, and I explained it to him, like, right down to the fine detail. I said, I can see these really big trees, man. I can see this waterfall, and you know, these rocks. They're just really weird looking. You know, like they're really detailed. And I said, but I can see this path. It's sort of this path walking around to the waterfall, you know. And he said, great. That's what I wanted you to see. So he took me to this place, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, right, yeah. He said, I'm going to show you. He said, don't tell me don't tell me anymore, but I want to just show you this place. And I said, yeah, right. He took me up to Mount Tambourine in near the Gold Coast. Got up there, went for a walk in the rainforest. I said, oh, yeah, cool. But you know what? When I started walking through this rainforest, I started having all these deja vu moments like I've actually been there before, you know. And he said to me, we got out to around the corner, and then we got out to an open bit. And he said, what do you see? And I said, oh my God. I said, that's what I've seen in crystal, man. You know, like it just was, I was looking at the same thing I just looked at like a couple of hours ago in this bloody crystal. Like, I was like, dude, like you're spinning me out, you know. he's like, no, man. He said, I just want to share something with you. He said, one, he said, I bought that crystal from here. And he said, two, I felt it was for you. I had to give it to you. And three, he said, this is your spiritual home. He said, this is your place where you can come and connect all the time. You can just, it's like putting it back into the wall, connect, and putting the plug into the wall and getting that jolt, you know. And every time I go up there, I feel awesome, you know. Don't get me wrong. I had a couple of bad experiences up there too. I went up to Mount Tambourine one time with some friends at night. Here's another good story. And I had all my stuff, all my pretties. I had all my crystals, you know. And this is right at the sort of the very beginning too. And I went up there and I took all the stuff up to the Tambourine because I'd actually been up there before. And this is why I never went back to the place. This is why when he took me up there, I was like, ooh, you know, like, but yeah, back at the beginning, everyone just was like, oh my God, oh my God. Like there was just a really strong energy there at night time when we were at this rainforest in Mount Tambourine. And I felt like there was a really strong presence there. Because, you know, I was sort of a bit more developed because I'd been looking within myself and that. I felt something really strong there, and it actually felt like an Aboriginal spirit or something. Like there was an attachment to that land, and I do believe it's Aboriginal land, which is really good. But I just feel like we were there at maybe the wrong time. We shouldn't have been there. And this thing was telling us to go. So I don't think there was anything good around there at that time. So I heard that there was a lot of bad stuff happening up there at night time in Mount Tambourine. There was a lot of darker forces, you know, darker practices, things like that. People getting into things they shouldn't have been getting into, and yeah, like all my friends, they just ran, and I'm still standing there. And I look back, and no one's there. I'm like, oh shit, I'm standing there by myself, but I've got all my crystals on the ground. I go to pick them up, and they're all bloody gone. A whole lot of them gone. Didn't know where they went. Put them right in front of me, gone. Yeah, because I put them on the earth, to cleanse them and stuff.
I know what they did. I've heard of that.
Gone. Completely gone.
Sometimes they want to go back in the ground for a bit.
Exactly.
I said to someone, they said, I'll leave it out there on the dirt. And said, someone told me to bury it halfway. and just leave it there. And they're like, I'm scared to, in case it gets swallowed. Because if the crystal wants to go, it'll go.
I never believed that.
People don't realise.
Yeah, when that happened to me, mate, I'll tell you what I believe today. Yeah, because the Mother Earth will always take that, you know. But yeah, you're right. Those crystals didn't serve me anymore, and I'll tell you what, I lost some beautiful crystals that day. I was so sad on the way home. Yeah, all my friends come back, you know, because I'm still standing there looking for my crystals. And they all come back for thinking I got taken or something, and then next minute they're all standing behind me, and this bloody thing presented itself to us all at once, like bang, come right up in front of me. But you know what? Didn't go past us. Didn't hurt anyone. Because I put up this big field and said, no, you're not coming past this point. That's it. Sorry. So whatever it was there, I believe it was part of taking my crystals too. So
your crystals are probably there holding it back.
My friends were like just blown away that night.
Yeah,
you know,
just tripped out.
Talking about all the spiritual stuff and all the awakenings I had, and they thought, oh yeah. But that night they believed me because they said, they never felt so bloody protected that night, and that this thing wasn't going to come to them. So yeah, I did a big thing that night for them all, you know, and yeah. But yeah, you know, they're the stories. Yeah, I had a couple of good ones. I've got many stories. Yeah.
Well,
I've been in some really big dark places too, but yeah, you know, and
we'll have to get you back on. We'll have to do a part two.
For sure, definitely, yeah, because I'd like to talk more about the medicine wheel, you know, to go through all the directions with you maybe next time, you know, because we only sort of just got a little bit out tonight, but yeah, there's plenty to talk about, Brooke. Always happy to share with you, brother, and again, mate, it's such an honour that to be on your show tonight, or you know, so many blessings to you, brother.
Thank you.
Inviting me on. Yeah, no, thank you. So happy to share the wisdoms and the teachings with others. Get the bigger word out there for everyone.
So, if you could go back to the beginning of your spiritual walk, what advice would you give yourself?
I wish I did it a lot earlier.
We all say that.
I wish I did a lot earlier. No, what's the best advice? That's a good question, Brooke. That's a really good question. What would I ask myself? I probably wouldn't, you know, I'd ask myself, what is it that I could have changed to maybe got myself to where I was now a little bit quicker? What is it that I could have done? What opportunities, because I wasn't as aware of what I am today.
Yeah.
Having that, this is what I was saying to you, I wish I knew what I knew now back then. But you know what? It comes back to that question again. It all happens in divine timing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So when it's meant to happen, when you're ready for it, you're going to get it. So, but that was the one question I would have asked. Yeah, I actually did ask myself is how can I do this quicker? How can I develop this much quicker?
Plus, you guys are probably shaking their heads. So we were telling you all that back then. You didn't listen.
Exactly, and that's the thing is you know, when you come to that truth within yourself, and you know, you come to that true heart center, you start getting all the guidance and the clarity that you need, and this is the thing is, you know, you guides, we've all got spirit guides, everyone, and we've all got animal spirits as well. Some of us have angels around us, some of us have elders and ancestors around us. You know, this is the good thing about it, is that they're all willing to pass it on to you, the messages. All you got to do is ask. All you got to do is just believe. All you got to do is just surrender to them and say, okay, you know, if you're hurting one day, for those people out there hurting tonight, just say, please just take this pain away from me. It doesn't serve me anymore. I don't deserve this. But if you do deserve it, then you've got to ask yourself that question, what have I done to bring this on to myself?
Yep.
Or does this belong to me, or does it belong to somebody else? That's the question you've got to ask too. So yeah, guys, I'll leave that.
No worries.
Leave that for you tonight. Think about.
How can we get hold of you? How can people get hold
so
of you?
yeah, I'm on Facebook. Yeah, well, that's another story. But anyway, yeah, I think my account's been disabled for 12 days for me to post to groups. But I wrote them a real lengthy email. So yeah, I don't know whether they disabled me. Something to do with community standards. I never did anything wrong. So yeah, obviously glitched in their system. But yeah, I've got my Facebook there. I tried to open up another Facebook account, which I had years ago. So you've probably seen some invites come through for people who have been watching tonight, who know me. But yeah, Facebook, Eaglefire Connections is the Facebook page, or Eaglefire Connections group is the group that I have. You can see me on Twitter as well, at Eaglefire Connections. You can also see me on YouTube at Eaglefire Connections as well. So, and Instagram as well. I'm on Instagram as well. And now StreamYard. Yeah, so it's good. StreamYard's really good. I like it, Brooke. It's great. Yeah. Carolyn told me about StreamYard actually. Yeah, so I'm
yeah, it's not bad.
glad I did it. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I love it. A lot clearer picture, everything too. I think it's a better recording, everything. But they give you the opportunity to have those destinations to send it to as well.
Yeah,
bigger picture
if you
out there,
if I go to Pro, this is running at 720p, and then go to 1040p, like ultra high definition.
Yeah.
But you got to get the Pro package, and then I got to upgrade my cameras.
I'm in the middle one.
All you're gonna do is see all my wrinkles if I do that.
Yeah, I got the middle one. Yeah. So yeah, I'll go to the Pro one day when I'm a bit more familiar with it for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, the big one. Yeah.
What's the old trick? They put Vaseline over the lens.
Yeah.
The old days.
Oh, love it, brother. Love it. No, I love it. But when I see you again, guys, we're gonna take you through that one next. So this is all the teachings of the directions, and I've got everything set up, guys. You know, I'm gonna take you through that one too, as well. And there's many more. You know, like I've got heaps of stuff. We take you through the moon phases. I'm gonna take you through the symbols. I'm gonna take you through all the information. Then we're going to talk about plant medicines. So, and then, yeah, much more. So, there's plenty of stuff. It's all there. So, I'm happy to share it with you guys. Such an honour. Really is to be able to share it with you all. So, yeah, ask me any questions, guys. Any questions at all, please send them to my thing. You can get me on, when I get my website up, it's Ian Eaglefire. Eaglefireconnections.com.au. That's going to be my website. I'm just getting that in the process and upgraded a bit more. You'll be able to go on my website and ask me some questions. And that's my business as well. That's where I do all my psychic readings, mediumship, any shamanic intuitive healings, things like that. I'm happy to help you guys out there too. Or you can go to my email address at it's ianeaglefire@hotmail.com.
Yep.
You can ask me some questions through there as well, or through Facebook as well. Whatever.
Yep.
Or Brooke, if you want to go through Brooke, you can get on to me as well. So that's another way. Yeah.
All your links should be in the show notes. And just remember, people, all these shows, they go onto a YouTube channel. So instead of going back, scrolling back through Facebook, you just get onto YouTube and look it up. It's all got.
Yeah, you did tell me that. Yeah.
Playlists of shows. Yeah.
Yeah, I might even have to give you a call if I get stuck or whatever. Or So see, you help me back. So that's the way it goes.
No worries.
That's how it all works. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Looking forward to that medicine pouch from you too, brother. That's going to be cool.
Do you need to close space?
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so what we do, guys, is we always close the space off now. It's been a beautiful sacred space, so I use the old Palo Santo. So I always use the candle that's been going since the beginning of the group or the circle itself. And if you notice, I'm actually turning to the left here. So I'm actually, the way I've got my room set up is that this candle, this flame, this fire is in the direction of the east. So what I do is I go back to the beginning, and then I go to the direction of the north. Okay. Custodians and owners of the lands, Great Spirit, Mother Earth, Father Sky, Grandfather Sun, Grandmother Moon, great ancestors, great elders, to the east, to the south, to the west, and to the north. I thank you tonight for this beautiful sacred space and this journey that everyone has been on. Please give people the wisdom and the guidance that they need on their path and their journey. And thank you again for creating this beautiful space for us all tonight. I honour and I give my love to Brooke himself for this beautiful, beautiful platform, this beautiful space. From my heart to all of your hearts, and many more, aho matakiasu. And that's how we close the space, guys. So now it's closed.
Thank you.
That's all right. And thank you, Brooke. Much appreciated.
Not a problem.
Much love to you, brother. Much love to you. And much love to everyone else out there tonight has been on. Okay?
So thank you for coming on the show. I hope you've enjoyed it, people. I'll have to have Ian on again. But you can watch this on YouTube. Subscribe, like. You've heard that 1,000 times from other channels. And yeah, we've got other shows during the week. Ian's on YouTube, Facebook, so you can catch him doing shows. And we'll see you around, people. Okay.
Cool.
So until then, catch you later, Ian.
Thank you, brother. All the best,
Namaste. See you later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
See you
everyone.
later.